Yes, lads. Good morning and welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Up on this Monday morning, Monday is always one of those good days because you start the week. It's normally the first, the starting working day, unless you work for, you work 7 days a week. But if you get get rest on week on the over the weekend, Monday is a new opportunity to earn. So, happy week, guys. Happy week. I hope it's gonna be a happy week for Arsenal fans. A happy week in terms of transfers, and a happy week for me as well. So we're gonna speak a couple of things today, including Arsenal this week, trying to get an attacking midfielder. Two names have been put on the list, and that is Joaquin Correa as well as Pieter Sebastian Zelinski. We will discuss them a little bit in detail. Joaquin Correa plays at Lazio, and Pieter Sebastian Zelinski plays with ASC Napoli. So we'll discuss them. But Ben White, there's an update around Ben White and Eduardo Camavinga as well. Camavinga, the price has actually been dropped. We have confirmed now what could be the price. However, Manchester United is leading that race in terms of getting Eduardo Camavinga. So I'll get into that a little bit as well as Emile Smith Rowe's third bid. It looks like Villa is not giving up without a fight. So they're saying if you have rejected the first bid, the second bid for Emile Smith Rowe, we will come in with a third one and we'll try to lure the player into signing for Aston Villa. They are surely looking for that perfect replacement of Jack Grealish. We are luckily sponsored by OneXBet, so make sure you do check out OneXBet. The link is in the video description. Betting is not allowed for persons under the age of 18. But use my promo code Cossy Media. If you arrive at their website, they'll give you enormous benefits, including a 200% bonus if you register with them and using my promo code Cossy Media. So let's get the party started, right? And let us start off with Ben White update. This was reported by Dan Cassius yesterday, and we spoke about it. If you're with me live yesterday, we spoke about it. Duncan Cassius said, Arsenal have apparently made an improved bid to Brighton, and this bid does not include more money. There was a total agreement between Arsenal and Brighton on what the fee is going to be. However, Duncan Cassius says that Arsenal are proposing a better payment structure and more money up front. So what happened in the first place is Arsenal had proposed a 45 million proposed to pay 45 million pounds in guaranteed payments plus 5 million euros or 5 million pounds in add-ons, which Brighton rejected. However, Brighton did not reject the idea that Arsenal wanted to pay 50 million pounds overall for the player. So what Brighton and Arsenal failed to agree on is basically the payment structure. And in my opinion, because I've seen Duncan Cassius saying that Chelsea is now interested. Chelsea is now entered the race to sign Ben White. Last week it was Everton and Manchester City. Last week, but one it was Manchester United. Lol, lots of love there. Lots of love. I'm loving life with the Ben White deal. Brighton know that unless they intimidate Arsenal, unless they scare us, unless they blackmail us, they're not actually going to get what they want. So they're trying to blackmail us into paying more money on the table. They want us to pay more cash up front. I don't know. And I really don't get why Brighton are being really unprofessional. These are things that you could do inside there. Try to negotiate with Arsenal probably, to get more money, to get them to pay more money. And according to Fabrizio Romano, when he was speaking on his Twitch account that he has newly opened, he has said that look, if Arsenal fail to get Ben White, if Brighton make things any harder, they will try to sign Edmond Tapsoba from Brighton, from Bayer Leverkusen. They'll go back and try to sign Edmond Tapsoba, the centre back at Bayer Leverkusen. The problem with Edmond Tapsoba is Bayer Leverkusen do not want to sell, and that's the difference between these two deals. Because Arsenal's priority in this summer was Edmond Tapsoba. That is the defender we wanted. But the problem is Bayer Leverkusen do not want to sell, and what they have done in that is that they have raised the bar too high, to around 70 million euros, and Arsenal is not actually prepared to pay that amount. With Brighton, their problem is they had valued the player at around 50 million euros, 50 million pounds, and now the player is now in with England, and England is progressing well. They're trying to they're trying to trick Arsenal into paying more money, linking the player to all sorts of big clubs. Probably they'll link him to Reading as well, and it's a little bit ridiculous. I don't think Arsenal will pull out the deal. Like I said yesterday, I don't think Arsenal will pull out out of the deal. I don't think any offer tabled by Arsenal that is decent enough in terms of payment structure, because according to Duncan Cassius, what Arsenal is trying to do at the moment, they're trying to rotate the table, revise their structure and contract, probably make installment payments that are a little bit more attractive and favorable to Brighton. My understanding and my case there is, the deal we propose to Brighton is good enough. They only want us to get more money. They only want us to to pay more money up front, and if Arsenal do that, then all the speculation will end. But even if Arsenal do not actually pay more money up front, Ben White is an Arsenal player, almost 90%. The moment the Euros end, we will get him to sign that contract. So for me, there's no big problem. With Brighton, unless otherwise. But at the moment, it seems that this deal is all but done. Let's get into the issues of attacking midfield, because that is where more focus should be put this week, according to reports. Now, reports have indicated that Arsenal will focus and try to get in an attacking midfielder, a goal-scoring midfielder this week, and two names have been put on paper. Number one is Joaquin Correa, the player at Lazio, and number two is Peter Sebastian, or Piotr. I mean, his name is a little bit difficult because it is Piotr. The midfielder from Poland, Piotr Sebastian Zielinski, playing with Napoli at the moment. I've been trying to look at some of the statistics of these two guys, and I think they're a little bit interesting. It will be very, very interesting to have both of them signed for Arsenal, or actually one of them. But if you look at Carlos Joaquin Correa, currently playing with Lazio, his market value is at around 30 million euros. That is as per the transfer market website. So I think now what Arsenal are gonna go for. 30 million euros. That is his valuation. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can also play on the left wing. His contract runs down in 2024. So I think the negotiations between Arsenal and Lazio are not going to be that easy, because the player still has a long time on his contract. Actually, 3 more years left on his contract. So if Lazio want to keep the player, they will keep him. If they want to sell him, then I think it makes the deal easier. The problem with the player having a lot of time left on his contract is you always get to have hardships if the club doesn't want to sell. But if you look at his statistics in the Serie A, he's played 123 games in the Serie A, 25 goals and 15 assists. So literally, he's engaged himself in 40 goals in 123 appearances for Lazio in the Serie A. So I think literally you want a player like that. With Piotr Zielinski, Peter Sebastian Zielinski from Poland, his contract also runs down in June 2024. So it's a little bit more of a similarity in terms of the length of the contract between the players. His market value, though, according to the transfer market website, is at 50 million euros. With Joaquin Correa, you could get him at around 30 million euros, but this one, his market value stands at around 50 million euros. And if you look at his appearances in the Serie A, he's played 263 games, has scored 30 goals and assisted 33 times. So you can see the reason as to why Arsenal really want these two players, because with Joaquin Correa, 40 goals, 40 goals engaged in 123 appearances, and with Piotr Zielinski, 263 games and 66 goal involvements directly by assisting and scoring. So I think with Zielinski, he's more of a goal scoring midfielder, and so is Joaquin Correa. And we have already heard it from the credible sources in from the Athletic, that what Arsenal want to do in this summer is getting a goal scoring midfielder, pretty much like a Madison, pretty much like the two we are looking at in Joaquin Correa and Piotr Zielinski. But in my case, I think I would go with Correa. I think it's more exciting to watch, and I think he has he's a little bit younger. Let me get this right. He should be a little bit younger, because this is Zielinski is 27 years of age, as per the transfer market website, and Joaquin Correa is 26 years of age. So I'll take him. I'll take Joaquin Correa, but eventually I'll take both of them. So Arsenal preparing to launch formal offers for those two this week. Let us wait and see what comes out of that. There is something about Eduardo Camavinga, and with Eduardo Camavinga, the price is now 30 million euros, which is around 22 million pounds. And I'll quote Mark Goldbridge or the United Stand on Twitter. They've said getting Camavinga for 22 million pounds is like did they say it's like getting a Rolls Royce or something like that? Getting a Rolls Royce for free. But look, the point is Camavinga, his potential, his ability. I mean, Rene is in a very difficult position, because the player, if the player doesn't sign a new contract, they've got to let him go. Otherwise, they'll lose him on a free next summer. PSG is interested, but they're not actually, formally involved. The only club formally involved at the moment is Manchester United. And according to Fabrizio, there are positive talks progressing between United and Rene for the player, and I think United will take him eventually. They have said we've done a lot of background work to sign him from Rene. I don't get what the background work is, because Rene said they have not received any offers from Arsenal. I don't know if they have received any offers from Manchester United, because they said they didn't receive any offers for the player just yet. So United leading that race for Camavinga, and then Emil Smith-Rowe's third bid is loading from Aston Villa. So Villa apparently thinking about getting in a third bid for Emil Smith-Rowe. However, it is concrete, it is set in stone. The future of Emil Smith-Rowe is gonna be at Arsenal. He loves being with the club. He feels his dream is coming through, and I think it would be somewhat like a downgrade to go from Arsenal to Aston Villa. But I think what Villa are trying to do is to prepare for life without Jack Grealish, and that's how important Grealish is. That they're trying to get Emil Smith-Rowe, but they have already got Emi Buendia, but they feel it's still very, very insecure. Is such an interesting player, such an important player at Aston Villa. So that is the update in the morning. Check out OneXpert. Link is in the video description. Smash a like on the video. Let's talk in the mid-morning show. Love you so much. I'll speak to you very, very soon.